Well, thank you very much, Chairperson Siyabonga Kuyingwe, for the presentation, the students and labor. I'll try to be very precise, and I also hope that I'll get precise responses. But maybe before I start my questions, I would really want to first understand the responsibility of the Deputy Vice Principal of Innovation, I believe, and Investment. What is the role of that particular office? And can the Deputy Vice Principal also share the innovative or innovation strategy and its impact, perhaps just to highlight its impact on the lives of the students socially and the educational aspects of students? Deputy Vice Chancellor,
Deputy Principal.
Principal, I mean,
Of
Deputy Principal
Innovations.
of Innovation and Investment. Just briefly, please.
Okay. The innovation and investment, it's we call it, we used to call it donor committee. It is a committee that helps us to get donations, that helps us to get funding for the institution, to rake funding outside of the institution. It is a committee. I am the principal, the deputy principal, a partnership and innovation development. So this is the committee to assist us to rake some funding into the institution.
No, thank you very much, Deputy Vice Principal. Apologies, we used to interacting with universities. Thank you very much, Deputy Vice Principal. Chairperson of Council and Acting Principal, I'm confused. Maybe it's my little understanding of English, of what is the meaning of innovation. And it's separate from investment and donation. So maybe if you could just come in there to assist the Deputy Principal, because that response is not sitting well with me.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. The background to this post briefly is that previously colleges had a deputy principal registration services. So during the finalization of the structure, colleges had to choose between continuing with registration or putting innovation as one of the deputy principals. So Ingwe has chosen innovation. The idea with innovation is that colleges must not continue business as usual, offering programs which are redundant and not being responsive and relevant, to the needs of communities and industry. So one of the key areas is to bring partnerships, generate partnerships that will seek to assist with opportunities for growth and development. So as Mem was saying, these partnerships will enable the college to look into areas of funding. For instance, the Kucha development partnerships is also a product of this particular unit. We have received a lot of funding if you look at our presentation in relation to this specific project. So this is why we said one of the subcommittees that is not prescribed in terms of the CET Act, the innovation subcommittee has been established to try and bring new ideas and new ways.
No, thank you very much, Acting Principal. You see, I would have expected that a person heading that particular department would be able to unpack what you are saying, but further to respond to my question to say, what becomes then the strategy of innovation and investment? I understand the background, but what is the strategy? And what is its impact in the innovation part of it? What is its impact on the social lives and the educational lives of the students, particularly because you said that most of your students are coming from rural areas. So would want to understand then what is its impact to that degree. In fact, I also want to find out from the Chairperson of Council, what are the requirements needed for a person to head that particular office as the deputy principal. But I think the deputy principal can now take me through the strategy the impact of that particular strategy as it relates to the social and educational aspect of the student's life in the college.
Thank you, Honourable Member. The strategy to the social, if I limit it to what you have inquired, is on the social educational life of a student, is that we want to innovate. We want to bring the best out of the students by putting innovations such as technological, and also to impact on the social life of the rural communities of these students from all other stakeholders, especially on their learning, on their social life, like we said, and lastly, on their placement, so that they don't struggle with placement immediately after getting their qualification, which is an N6 certificate.
Thank you very much, Deputy Principal. Can I get the strategy? Maybe if it can be sent to us, because I'm not gathering the strategy. I get the wishes of the acting or the principal of innovation, deputy principal. But I would like to get the strategy and its impact in maybe in submission to the committee secretariat. If you could please, Chairperson of Council, just unpack briefly the requirements of a person that should occupy such an office. It's a very important office, and perhaps I think in writing, because there's no time, can we also get how much has been how do I put this? How much has been achieved? Yeah, thank you very much. Achieved by the particular office in terms of investment, and obviously you've included the partnerships that you have so far gathered in the process. If that can also be submitted in writing, but I would want to gather the requirements, and maybe just also to add, how long has the deputy principal been occupying that particular office of innovation and investment?
Thanks, Honourable Member. Well, I may not speak with authority in terms of requirements, because their level of delegation, they are appointed by the department. So the department has a standardized requirements for deputy principals. So at my fingertips, I cannot say perhaps there is a requirement of a master's degree in this. So we can perhaps submit one of the standardized advert by the department when we make submissions of the strategy, so that I don't mislead the honourable members. But on the idea on the impact, one, we've been given mandates by this administration, which are largely not funded. So it needs colleges now to be creative in terms of how they respond to achieve those target. For instance, increasing access to TVET programs. With our limited infrastructure now, we need to be creative in terms of how do we get funds to increase our infrastructure development, so that we meet the target of ensuring that there would be increased enrollment. That is the impact that the student would have. And also with the moving times, we want to increase our occupational programs. And this is strategically because SETAs have fund money that are specifically funding for occupational programs. Therefore, we want to target the SETA fundings to ensure that we get funded for these occupational programs. That will also...
Can I just cut you, Chair? I think that the chairperson is cutting my time. Thank you for your response. I'll just ask one question, Chair, through you, which is very important. Acting, this thing of acting, there are a lot of acting people in the TVET sector. A deputy principal academic and acting principal, would you agree that the main purpose of the college is teaching and learning? Do we agree? Okay. The past 3 academic years, I was looking at your enrolled students per course and the number of students that wrote and the difference there too. So I'll only focus on 2024 because it's almost the same across all 3 years. For 2024, at NCV or it's NC, I think it's NCV, your enrollment was 14,246. The number of students that wrote were 13,236. That's a difference of at least 750.
That close up the extra minute is done.
Yeah. And then for engineering, the difference again in terms of enrollment and those that wrote are 453. The next one, which is business studies, the difference is 520. And those are the ones. And then when you're looking at the dropouts, the only dropouts that you had for that particular academic year is 60 for NCV, 46 for business studies, and 20 for PLP. So in engineering, 12. So the excuse cannot be dropouts, but there is a big chunk of students that did not write the examinations. So could you please take us to confidence the reasons why there is a big number of students that don't write exams and what is being done by the college to ensure that this doesn't happen, because it's been happening for the past 3 years. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Member. The numbers that you are referring to are actually subject counts. They are not head counts. But that being the case, there are two issues that prevent students from writing examinations. One of them is 80% attendance, which is compulsory. So if a student is not attending as required, they will be excluded from writing a subject. The second one, all the subjects have got sub-minimums to allow them into the examination. So if a student, for example, in NCV, vocational subject, they do not meet an ICAS or a year mark of 50%, they will not be allowed to write the subject. It's a policy of the department. So what we are doing in terms of academics, we are working on a student retention strategy as well as the college improvement plan. It's what we've been doing from Monday because I'm only 12 days into the college. So, but I'm assisting the academic unit to develop a proper strategy that can assist in terms of assisting students not to drop out and also to progress. Thank you.
Okay, Honorable Kaka.
Deputy Principal